are back. A2TP podcast, episode 122. Is it 122?
It is 122.
122, and it's your boy International Walk.
It's your girl Tosh, the co-hostess with the most. And I got something in my eye.
In her fucking eye right now. She
Sorry.
old, like shit just go in old people's eyes all the time. So, it happens like that. But we are back for another episode of us, A2TP podcast, episode 122. And we are here. And it's your boy. You guys can catch us on A2TPodcast.com, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Breaker, Google, Anchor, YouTube, and Spotify. That's Google Podcasts. Every week I check it, and we there. So, if you look for us, we there. Get right to it. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great today. Mentally, I'm a 10.
A 10.
I am a 10. I
got
cannot
this
think.
weak ass pen. It might not even be written down, so your 10 might go unnoticed.
I cannot even, but I know this is up in here.
Okay.
I can't even think of any reason why, and I'm not going to manufacture a reason, but right now I can't think of any reason why I'm not a 10. I feel good. I look good. My baby's good. Like, life is good. We're blessed. So I'm a 10. Financially, I'm a 10.
Could it be?
No, we're not gonna work. Well, no. I'm gonna say work is a 10. Work is a 10. And physically, I ain't gonna front for y'all. Physically, I'm a 9.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
I
know, but I don't want to just do it, do it for the gram or
like
do it.
Bob Barker over here.
Yeah, but I ain't complaining, and nothing is wrong, but I could feel better. But I feel good. Like, I'm happy. I got 10, 10, 10, 9. I'm all good.
That's what's up.
Yeah, how are you, baby?
I'm good. Mentally, I feel like I'm a 10. So I'm gonna put myself down for a dime there.
You know why?
Finances, I'm always a 10 because God is blessing me all the time.
You was just gonna ignore me though?
No, I heard you. The camera heard you.
All right.
Work is, I would say, a 9, a stiff 9. So I'm gonna go 9 on work. Physicality, I'm gonna go a 9 because my motherfucking my ligament ain't right. Something. The people done did something to me. I gotta go see the lady.
You gotta really go see the lady. Yeah.
So that's how you are 10, 10, 10, 9. I am a 10, 10, 10. I'm a 10, 10, 9, 9.
That's still pretty good.
We're up there. We're high up there.
Yeah, how y'all feeling? Y'all feeling good? I hope
so. Do y'all
so.
still do y'all check-ins or do y'all ain't fucking with us? Like what y'all be doing? Like just go and live y'all life. Don't be talking to nobody. Don't be doing.
But
no
even
check-ins.
if you don't check in with yourself.
That's what I'm talking about.
Important.
Like what your check-ins are. Like what's your mental today? What's your finances today? What's your work today? How your body feel? Like you don't do them check-ins with yourself. You ain't gonna have no baseline.
And sometimes
you just be out here like philandering through the air.
That's how you philander?
Yeah, you need a baseline. You
how
can't
you
just be like
again?
all frivolously out here and philandering. You know what I'm saying?
And it's good to ask a friend, how are they? Not just the general, hey, how are you? And they say, hey, how you doing? So many people misinterpret that how are you as just the way of somebody saying hi.
Because it's generic. Most of the times, even if something's wrong, if you ask somebody, they're going to say, okay. Like that's the generic answer to it, but you're really not okay.
Yeah, and but that's why it's good to reiterate, how are you? How are things going? How are you? So, now of course, as people, we have to be willing to say, and I think that's so hard for people to say when they're not okay. Either 1, you don't want to share, 2, you don't want pity, 3, you don't want shame if it is some, reason. People don't like to rely on other people, but you gotta have somebody in your life that you are okay with letting them know when you're not okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What
she said. Wows and woes, ups and downs, stops and goes, blacks and whites.
I'll just do wows and woes. My wow is just, we have been. We love our home, and as many of you know, we've been in our new home now a little over a year, and we have continued to just beautify our home, but not only in the inside, but on the outside. And I am so enjoying the outdoor space. I always, even when we go on vacation, that's one of the criteria that I look for is, you know, a hotel room or hotel suite with a balcony. Like, I love outdoor space. I hate feeling confined. One of our requirements in looking for a home was to have a porch or, you know, some kind of outdoor space. Even if we lived like in, you know, a deluxe apartment in the sky, like the Jeffersons, like, we need a patio. So I'm just really,
some sort of outside.
Yeah, just really been enjoying
without having to catch the elevator and go all the way down and go outside.
Right, like, well, that's the key, like personal outdoor space. And you know, I've just been really enjoying it. Always have, but have been enjoying it more because, you know, just where we live, we love our home, and so that's just been my wild. Just that I look at it as an extension of our peace. Like, I want our home to be like a sense of serenity. No matter how hard the day was, you want to come home and feel relaxed and feel calm, and that is just like an extension. You know, we have a back too, and we'll kind of work on that. But I really have been enjoying the front. So that's just my wild. Just enjoying that time with you. I don't have any woes. I'm not gonna, like, again, manufacture anything. Well, that's a lie. Maybe a little bit of a woe with this weekend coming, and we know that it's a holiday for some. And if I'm 100% honest, I might feel a little bit of, but I'm trying to like do away with it, because it's almost like when they say you shouldn't worry about things. Like, I don't want to worry about something that hasn't happened. And my worry is that I don't want to feel bad. And it's like, duh, just don't think about feeling bad. But I'm trying to like manifest myself not to feel any kind of like negative feeling. So I'm just pray for me that, you know, this weekend, I know my husband got my back 1000%. So that's if I had to find a woe, just, you know, that little bit of woe, but that's what it is. It's a little bit of woe.
Okay.
How are you? I mean, what's
good.
your wows and woes?
My wow is got something new in my life. People will see, but you know, got something new in my life. So yeah, that's I'm excited about that. Poppy. Yeah, and I don't have no woes. I've been, you know, I'm glad I made it another 7 days since y'all seen me last. And yeah, God is great. So that's
all the time.
Yep, that's well, damn.
No, you don't, baby.
I know it's a saying. I know.
But you didn't respond back.
All the time.
God is good.
All the time.
No. You say God is good, and I say all the time, and then you say all the time, and I say God is good. It's kind of like reversing.
Do it again.
Yeah, go ahead, use it again.
God is good.
All the time.
God is good.
No, you say all the time the next time.
All God is good.
All the time.
All the time.
God is good.
That was not good.
Yeah.
That was not good. We might cut
that's
that out.
Like the, you know, that's like the exchange.
Leave that on the editing floor, as they say in the business. Topic of discussion, and we're not going to make this a sad show, but we're going to use our tools that we were taught and speak upon this coming holiday, this coming weekend, being it's Mother's Day. And it's a lot of people out there, and I respect mothers, and especially Black mothers out there, but all mothers. And, you know, everybody doesn't have the best relationship with their mother. And we're just going to speak a little bit on how we feel about this weekend, how we feel about this day. And then we got some shit to get off about the day. Mm-hmm. So just the first question, what's the day mean to you?
Well, it's
and you could have short answer, long answer, if it means anything.
Right. I mean, for me personally, to be honest, it's a reminder of something that I don't have in my life. Mm-hmm. And not saying I don't have a mother, but not being a mother. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I will say it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and it's celebrating those who are or who have. One thing that you mentioned, you know, not everybody have great relationships with their mother, but let's also think about, you know, you have those people out there who have lost mothers, like mm-hmm. who are deceased. So, you know, that's really what it means to me, in honor of those people who are mothers, who have relationships with their mothers. You know, it's a day to honor and celebrate all that they are. But for me personally, it's just a reminder of like, nope, that day ain't for me.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like the day, first off, to be honest, I'm so Disattach isn't a word.
Unattached?
Unattached to the day itself.
Or detached.
Detached from the day itself because of so many years. So that's what the day means to me. It's like almost just Sunday. And I respect people out there who have a great relationship with their mother. I also respect people who choose not to have, and I also respect people who have transitioned and passed on. So I know what the day means to certain people. You have a duality with the day where you might not have the relationship in your life with the person who made you, but also, we have been on a journey through life and we don't have any kids. So how does the day affect you that way, if it does or not?
So I can say for my own mom,
Hold on, before you answer, is it one of them things where it's like something that you never experienced, so you don't know quite what it is, so you don't know quite what the grasp, or is it just something that you, as a woman, you yearn for?
What do you mean?
Like having a Mother's Day, like a person saying Happy Mother's Day because you're a mother.
Yeah. So I'm okay.
That duality, like the person who made you, and then the fact that we haven't had kids.
Right. So okay. So the fact my relationship with my mom, like this is honestly, the first year that we, have the fractured relationship that, we have currently. And so that, I don't know how I feel through that. To be honest, we've never did big celebrations. My mom has never been one of those people. And I think just because of what we've learned in therapy as a tool, it's probably one of those avoidance things. Like maybe you're afraid to be disappointed, so you kind of shy away from things. Mm-hmm. My mom is like that with a lot of holidays, her birthday, Christmas. I mean, she sometimes may want to get into a... So
you think it's out of guilt, like I don't deserve it, like almost like people shouldn't be celebrating, like no, self-deprecation?
I don't think it's out of guilt. I think one, she lost her mother, a little over 20 years ago, so that might be some part of it. But I think it's probably emotional abuse that came from her relationship with my father for so many years, who probably made her feel like she didn't deserve it, or who probably, I can't recall any, hearing any specific language, but just knowing the person that he is, I'm sure he probably said some mean, hurtful things, because as a child, it was never, he never made a big deal out of it for her, considering the fact that she's the mother of his 3 children, or 3 of his children. So it was never like he made a big deal out of it. So it's probably one of those things where, how, just imagine a kid, nobody ever celebrated your birthday. And when you get older, I think you either go one or two ways. Your birthday ain't a big deal to you, or you want to be so extravagant.
Weeks and birthday months.
So I think it's probably one of those things where, if we did celebrate, she was happy. We have celebrated in some years in some capacity, but she's never made a big deal. With me, it's kind of like, because she never made it a big deal, it's I won't say it's not that big of a deal, but it isn't as big of a deal as my own personal journey is for me. The part of me not being a mom is weird because, I help raise my sisters. Mm-hmm. So I remember in the years past, they would get me Mother's Day cards, and it would be very emotional, just because taking the Mother's Day portion out of it, just some of the words that they would write, and just the feelings that they would express towards me, which I never did anything for them for that, but just hearing the words and what they would say or read what they would say, it just felt good. As we kind of got older, we kind of, our relationship kind of evolved from being like that mother-children relationship to more of friends. Right. So they still recognize, the position that I played in their life, but it changed. It's one of those things where I would love to be able to accept a Happy Mother's Day. I remember one year your daughter had, when she was part of her life in her teenage years, she had texted me Happy Mother's Day, and Like, wow, like that really did. And she might have been 16 maybe that year. I'm thinking no more than 17. So it was like, okay, wow, like that was pretty dope. Like that was pretty dope. Like she's never called me mom or anything like that. And I've never tried to or wanted to replace her mom. But just, her showing, the respect for the person that I was in her life. Right? Yeah, like that was pretty dope. So I think that was probably, this might sound a little weird, probably like the closest thing to a real Mother's Day thing I ever got, like her being my stepdaughter. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, like, it is what it is.
I just wanted to hear your perspective on, how you felt about that. I don't necessarily, I think I have more of attachment if I look at it that way, but I kind of ride that wave with you. Mm-hmm. Like I don't, sit around and think about, damn, like what if she was a mom, or what if we had kids. Like I don't do that. I just enjoy us and being in the moment, and I love our life, and I love who you are. So I don't look at it, I just kind of ride the wave with you. Like if it affects you, then it affects me. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. So that's how I look at that. We can get a little transparent on screen, and certain topics can get to my baby, but she be back. She just went to grab some tissue. Be back momentarily. This is not going to be a down show. Like that's why I wanted to get this topic out the way. But now we gonna make it like a Festivus for us. So Mother's Day. Now that we got that part out the way, speak to the insensitivity of people on that. Speak to the insensitivity amongst the sensitivity of the world today, of the culture today. Because this is something that people don't quite get, don't quite think about. It affects her, so it's something I notice, and it affects me. I don't like it, but you just speak to it more than I can, because, get your shit off.
So this is the thing, right? Mother's Day is a beautiful thing for those people who are mothers, those people who have mothers, those people who want to celebrate. I think what society kind of turns a blind eye to is that not everyone has a mother, not everyone is a mother. Like, of course, everybody had a mother. We came from a woman, but it's not a happy Mother's Day for some people. And my suggestion, recommendation, opinion is not that people shouldn't celebrate, but what people should stop doing, or what I would like for people to stop doing, is stop extending Happy Mother's Day wishes to strangers. If you don't know the person, that means you don't know if they're a mother. You don't know if they had to bury a child. You don't know if they've been trying to conceive a child. You don't know if they just buried their mother. You wishing a stranger a Happy Mother's Day could unlock a world full of trauma when they just may be trying to get through the day. I'll tell you, historically, going to the supermarket was the absolute worst on Mother's Day, because people being nice, not trying to be insensitive, not trying to be unkind. Happy Mother's Day, Happy Mother's Day, Happy Mother's Day. Just because I got boobs, I'm not a mom. And for myself, it causes it used to cause a little bit of like, what do you call it when you hurt yourself? You're a masochist, mm-hmm. or sadistic?
I think masochist.
Okay. It was almost masochistic, because people would say Happy Mother's Day and I would say thank you. Because it's like, who wants to stop every time and keep saying, I'm not a mom, I'm not a mom, I'm not a mom, I'm not a mom, I'm not a mom. It's like stabbing yourself over and over again, having to keep telling people that same thing. So you just say thank you.
God forbid some newsy old lady say why.
Well, no, let me tell you, the last time I remember I said it was a cashier. And that would be the most people that would say it would be the cashiers when you're leaving. Oh, have a Happy Mother's Day. And it's just like, thanks. Or like, oh, what are your Mother's Day plans for today? Nothing. Like, so and again, I know it was from a good place, but people just don't think. You don't know other people's lives. ain't a stranger in the world going to feel bad or going to look at you like, how dare this stranger not wish me a happy Mother's Day?
No.
So it's okay to keep it to yourself.
If you walk past somebody down the street, and I agree with what she's saying, and I'm glad she brought it to my light, because I don't say it to strangers. If I know you and you in my life, in my circle, then I wish you happy Mother's Day. But walking down the street or holding the door for some lady, I don't know if she buried her child a week ago and she trying to get through the day. I don't know if she lost her mom 2 days ago and she just trying to get some food for the day. I don't know these things, so I'm not going to say happy Mother's Day to her for that simple reason. I could be unraveling some work that she has done. She just trying to get through the day. But if everybody is so sensitive now about what the fuck you say, and you can't say this, and
you can't call a him
this,
or her,
and like all these
him.
pronouns and all this shit. Nobody thinks about that.
Let's add this to the list.
Nobody thinks about that. And like she said, a stranger, you walk past somebody on Sunday and say, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Or nothing. Nobody's going to turn around and say, this motherfucker didn't wish me happy Mother's Day. They're not. So just extend that that happy Mother's Day to people that you know.
Yeah, please enjoy,
your
celebrate.
Sisters, your moms, your aunts, all that stuff.
Great relationships with women in your life. Please celebrate and doing whatever you want to do. I never know if moms want to be with their kids or if they want to break from their kids. I think sometimes they want both. But whatever it is you want to do, however you want your day to be, hopefully it is exactly that. But just remember, keep it to yourself if you don't know the person. And this is another thing. And this is, I get this a lot. Like I was saying, the cashier, I remember one year, when I finally told myself, maybe I was in a bad mood that day, or I was probably sad, and I just had that, like, I wish your mother effer would today tell me happy Mother's Day. I'm not saying thank you no more. Cashier, older black lady, happy Mother's Day. I said, I'm not a mother. And she looked like she had an attitude with me. She said, well, I'm sure it's somebody out here whose life you have made a difference in, or who you love on. So still, happy Mother's Day. And I'm just thinking, like, if I'm telling you, all I said was I'm not a mother. You don't know my story. So for you to come back at me with that retort, it's like you're totally disregarding my feelings because you want me to accept your happy Mother's Day. And I didn't even say anything to her because I think I was in a bad mood that day, or just sad. And it was just like, let me get off this market. This is another thing. And I'm not going to speak for all in this instance, because some of you who may be auntie moms, god moms, whatever the situation is, but you may not be a mom yourself, you may be looking to or accepting of the, oh, I know you're not a mom, but that kind of language. For me, you can keep it. I appreciate it, but it's not needed because I'm not a mom, and and this is not coming from a hurting place. This is coming from a healing place. I'm not a mom. I'm growing to accept that. It is not the same. I am an aunt, and when they have a trophy, when Auntie's Day come up, show out, because I want them to say for the rest of their lives that their Aunt Tashi was the best to ever do it. I want to be the best aunt I can be. I want to be the best sister I can be. I am the best wife to him that anybody in this world could ever be. But I'm not a mom. So don't tell me, oh, well, you love the kids. It's just the same. So still happy Mother's Day. It ain't the same. Not for me. So that piece, I'm going to say, for me, it's not. And I'm sure there are some others who may accept it, but it's still that little like,
It's a different thing.
It's different. It's different.
It's a different thing.
It's different. And I know it comes from a place of love, but people don't understand it's really not the same.
Right.
So just, take a moment. And I wish that this message, one of my girlfriends, Kelly Lover, she years ago when I kind of said, put this message out there, she said, she had never thought about it, which I know that a lot of people haven't, because again, I know people don't say it from a place of malice. It is from a place of love. You're not wishing somebody a happy mother, unless you just some evil heifer. Mm-hmm. You ain't wishing somebody a happy Mother's Day to be mean because you know they can't have kids, or you know their mother passed, or some situation like that. So it's from a place of love, but just take a step back to think, do I know this person? Do I know their situation? Do I know what they may be dealing with? I don't, so.
And if everybody is being sensitive in this culture today, then that's something to be sensitive about. Like, you don't want you don't want to hurt people, you don't want to hurt people. So, like, respect what she's saying, and also just respect people's relationships. There's people out there who feel like, you know, you should have a good relationship with your mother, or, you know, you should do all these things. And it's like some people's life just doesn't pan out the way your life did. And some people aren't built or wired the way you are. Some people are in more desperate situations. I read a story today that's a extreme situation, but a girl was adopted, found her biological father, and they got together for some drinks at a hotel. He ended up raping her.
What?
After not seeing her since she was born. Raped her in the hotel room. So all I'm saying is, you don't know what people's parents have done to them. And you can't just simply say, no matter what, make peace with your father, make peace with your mom, do all this shit. Because you just don't know, just like you don't know her situation about Happy Mother's Day. You don't know people's situation about their moms or their dads or anything like that. So it's all the same to me. If you don't know a person's situation, don't speak on it. If it's your situation, then go ahead and live your life. But everybody ain't the same. We're not monolithic.
Yeah. And I will say this again, to those who are mothers, to those who want to celebrate, I hope that the day is everything that you want it to be.
Yes.
I know and love some amazing mothers. My sister Toya, my Fab Five, you know, my I don't know if I ever say her name, but my sister Erica, she's the mother of our kids that we call our kids. My sister-in-law Aikisha. I know a lot of moms that are terrific moms. Crystal, Misty, Nanette. Like, I have friends who are great moms. Kelly. I can't name all of y'all. Tia, Jade. Happy Mother's Day to all of you who we know and who we love. You got anybody you want to shout out? To our she-mom.
Yeah, happy
Just leave
Mother's
it at
Day
that.
to our she-mom. Happy Mother's Day to my sister. Happy Mother's Day to everybody who's a mom that I know or whoever encountered in my life.
Happy new Mother's Day to my god sis Danielle. This is her first Mother's Day. So again, we know a lot of great mothers, and this is not to.
So we got to get up and make phone calls and make texts to people to say Happy Mother's Day. We're not saying we're against Happy Mother's Day. So we're gonna call our family and loved ones and be like, Happy Mother's Day.
I might not call y'all, but you know, I love y'all.
I'm just saying. Let me just get that out. Like, we have people to reach out to. We're not saying, you know, fuck up. Like,
it's an amazing day. For moms and those who want to celebrate, and not, let me not say for those who want to celebrate. It's an amazing day for some. It is not a Happy Mother's Day for all.
Right.
That's just really the message. So I just encourage you to keep that in mind, and enjoy the day for those of you who will be celebrating, and for those of you who may be in a hurting place. You're in my thoughts and prayers. Like, just generally for those who are not mothers who would like to be, for those who have lost children, for those who have lost their mothers, for those who have fractured relationships with their mothers. You all are in my prayers. And I'm not saying that like Joe Biden when he just randomly says it. Like, I'm really praying for y'all. That it's a day with that some peace, that you have peace of spirit on that day.
Yeah. So happy Mother's Day to all the great mothers out there who want to celebrate Happy Mother's Day. Shouts out to y'all.
Yes.
Moving on. Trump got found guilty of civil rape.
So I was so confused when I heard this, because I didn't think he was on trial for rape.
Civil rape. Back in the 90s.
This is a different case than what he was arrested for recently.
This isn't Stormy Daniels.
Okay. I was like, when did this just pop? I didn't even know that, like, that was in the mix going on right now.
Yeah. Back in the 90s. So obviously it's statute of limitations.
So this is my thing.
So that's why it's a civil thing.
Exactly. And this is not to say for women who are victims of...
Hold on. He did a deposition, right? Where he was in front of a, what do you call it? Grand jury.
Okay.
So you do a deposition in front of a grand jury. And they was asking him, you said this, and I got all these quotes from him. And they said, you said that back in the 1990s that it was, you could go and kiss on women and feel them up and grab them by what you say, the pussy. And he goes, if that's what I said, that's what I said. He goes, for 1,000,000 years, that's how it's been with celebrities. That they just let you do that. So, not unless things have changed, this is what you can do if you're a celebrity.
Not unless, meaning like that. he's questioning whether or not things have changed.
He said that like in the deposition. It's like, wow, like he's just so like Trump is the shit when it comes to like, I'm not scared.
I am who I am.
Yeah, like I'm not scared.
He is if they wanted a picture of. If I said what I said was a picture, it would be his orange face. Yeah.
Like just to be like, that's what I said.
Unless things have changed.
Like, he goes, it's been like that for 1,000,000 years with celebrities and women. Like they just let you. So not unless things have changed. That's what I said.
You know, it's crazy that you said that. This is kind of like a diversion from what you're saying. I saw a snippet of a video about a gentleman who was talking about men in Hollywood being sexually I don't want to say sexually abused. Dude? Yeah, but he referenced Terry Crews when Terry Crews said somebody grabbed him by the bussy, I guess you would call it. Well, yeah, no, that shit, but grabbed him by the junk, and people kind of like downplayed it. But to Trump's point, it was almost like that mindset of that Hollywood world, you supposed to let me do this. Like, if I'm a producer and you want this movie, like, this is what I'm, like, you shouldn't have no problems with me doing it. I think that was a different thing with Terry Crews, but I get what you're saying. With the females, I think that was a line like that. But I think that's a different thing than you being a celebrity and just thinking you can grab models and people by the pussy. Like, that's just... I'm just saying, in that weird world of celebrity, that world of, you know, that fame, it's like they get this mindset like of, Terry I'm supposed Crews to just be celebrity. Able... So but the person that did it wasn't necessarily a celebrity, but was from that world Hollywood of, I'm rich, I can do what I want. And you're supposed to be okay with it. Yeah, like, we don't joke like that. We don't play like that. And if you act like you're going to play like that, then you think it's serious. Yeah. If I don't put a check to it, then you think, okay, he can play like that. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. It makes you wonder how many... I mean, I'm sure the list is ridiculously long of women. I mean, we saw with the Harvey Weinstein case, the women that was coming out of the woodwork, you know, with stories about him. Not that it was a secret, but it's like when you know stuff, and this is different than, like, I look at it as different than the Bill Cosby thing, because even though there were some scenarios where Bill Cosby was like giving women the impression that he could help their careers, a lot of them wasn't. It was just like groupies, and he ended up taking advantage. But Harvey Weinstein was in a position where he was responsible roles for these people's careers and roles, and he was taking advantage. But men, just because of the bravado that men have, other than Terry Crews, we're not going to hear men come out and say, yeah, I was approached for this role too. Because then the mindset is going to be, well, you was in that movie. Did that mean you did it? And it happened in some cases. Like with Harvey Weinstein. Yeah. It happened with Jodie Foster. Yeah. Like, he put her in Silence of the Lambs and she won an Oscar. And that's what he promised her. That's what I'm saying. For groping her up. That's what I'm saying. For men, they're not going to come out and say it because in this world that we live in, this sounds horrible to say, but I'm not going to say it's acceptable. It's a societal norm for women to be raped, as horrible and ugly as that is. But it's not a normal thing for a man to be raped and tell the story. Right. It happens, but like, okay, imagine if Jodie Foster, like, I'm just randomly thinking of a movie. I don't know why, because he's one of my favorite actors, but I'm thinking about Mark Wahlberg. If he said whoever the producer of Shooter was did that to him, grope him groped him in order for him to get this part. Well, the assumption is going to be you were in the movie, you got the part, so you allowed him. Yeah. Yeah, you didn't fight back, you didn't resist. So men are less likely to tell the story. But back to Trump, it just lets you know. He's just the brash one, the bold one, the ridiculous one, the one that's ridiculous enough to say it. But a lot of them think like that. And it's one of them things like that's been going around the internet for so many years you can't deny. Yeah. Like, it would be foolish for you to be up there to be like, well, I didn't really say that. Where it's like, you're on video
and standing in front of a bus saying grab him by the pussy.
And this is the problem with celebrities transitioning to politics, because when you think about a person like Barack Obama, you think about a person like Joe Biden. I don't know that many politicians, so I'm gonna stop right there. They have lived that life through the years where, although they may have done some unscrupulous things, they kind of made sure to kind of keep it brushed under the rug. Obama said he smoked a joint. Clinton said he smoked a joint, but he didn't inhale. So it was like they kind of pushed those things out of under the rug because of their career paths, and they knew that they were in that political arena and that people can dig up that dirt. Trump wasn't on that career path. He was living his best life.
Yeah.
Laying and spraying everywhere, groping whatever he could, and then so it's almost like
just grabbing mad pussy.
Yeah, he like, what am I lying about? Like, y'all knew what it was hitting for when I was out and when I was outside, when I was in the streets.
The parties, I was at all of the puffy parties. Like Trump was
the
in the
Jeffrey
building.
Epstein Island.
Yeah,
like he was there, and y'all knew, and y'all still voted him as president. So what he got to lie for? He was there first. And if anything, he gave you a true representation of himself, because we knew Trump as Trump before, and even longer after we will know Trump as president.
That's crazy though. Just grab him by the pussy. Like, again, how sensitive the culture is right now with everything you say and do. Here's a guy who was the president, and he's like said yesterday, you can grab him by the pussy.
But let me tell you this. If he is allowed to continue to pursue his 2024 campaign run, he'll be president again.
Oh, hell yeah, by
People
a landslide.
don't care. This society is
because of the salaciousness of his rhetoric and the stuff that he does.
Exactly. He will be president again. But this is what...
People be like, he's must-see TV. Hell yeah, we want him to be the president.
I'm not saying that a woman shouldn't be compensated for wrongdoing, but it's like, you compensate somebody for hitting their car, you compensate somebody for medical bills if you like damage them or something. I don't know the compensation on rate. That's just always like a tricky thing, like in my mind, because
I mean, everybody has a number, and that sounds kind of callous to say, but it's the truth. Everybody has a number. That's why, because everybody has pain and suffering. So what you put on that is up to you, and you may not want it in the moment if a loved one dies or something like that, but you want some type of restitution.
And I just think to myself, though, yes, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Does it help is another conversation, but I think you're entitled to it, and you should be compensated if something happens,
But I think to myself, what does that represent? So let's just paint a picture. This lady won this $5 million. Okay, she goes in, she buys her mom a house, or she buys herself a house. And now it's like, this is the house that I was able to buy myself because I was raped. It's like that attachment to the money. It's just, or if you, like, I mean, I'm downplaying, and you buy yourself a Birkin. Like, this is the Birkin I was able to buy because I was raped. It's just like that attachment with whatever you do with that money. Now, I'm sure...
Maybe you shouldn't buy a Birkin with your rape money. Maybe you shouldn't...
I'm just thinking... you buy a house, you buy a car, you pay your children's tuition. Okay, my children got through college off of the money that I was raped.
If you do something with the money that makes your life easier or better, then I think you can live with it. That's what... If you go out and be something and you buy some materialistic shit that doesn't matter to you in a few years, then okay. But if you used it to put your kids in college, to buy a house for you to live in, if you don't have none, then you did something to better your life or make your life easier. I think it's probably easier to swallow.
But no, let's say you have a house, but you just go and buy a bigger one, a better one, a fancier one. But again, you're doing it with the money. I don't think that lady's like homeless. So anything you do is going to be like materialistic, other than like paying tuition or something.
But if you got to look at it as, am I doing something that makes my life better, that makes it easier for me? I had a hard time. I went through some traumatic event. What can I do with this money to make it easier for me? And if you can find that, then I think the money helps.
Regardless of the money, I mean, it's been the night.
And also, it can technically be done, which is really, really sad. But think about the extreme of 9/11, where they had to take all them thousands of people and determine what a life costs. Like, so you 55 years old and you was the janitor, you would have made this much money in your coming life, so you allowed to get this. So that's your life as a janitor. You was a 25-year-old up and coming, vice president of something. You had 65 more years to work. Your family gets this. And it's like, technically, they put numbers on
I mean,
lives.
I know, but for me as a wife, if my husband was lost, it ain't no amount of money you can give me that's going to take away that pain.
But would you say, okay, if something happened to me and you was going to get $20 million, I'm acknowledging you saying the pain. Would you just simply say, no, I don't want it?
No, I would accept it, but I'm just saying, in the sense, it would still hurt. But I hope that her, even though it's been since the 90s, you talking about 30 years to have this resolved, I just hope it gives her some sense of peace.
Moving on. Chris Brown and crew jump Usher.
I ain't buying this story. Like, I hear it swirling, but I need proof. Because, I just need proof.
There's some vague video of people arguing, of Chris Brown arguing, of Usher arguing, trying to stop. Because the thing was, Usher threw Chris Brown a skate party for his 35th birthday. But Chris Brown doesn't get along with Tiana Taylor. And Usher had Tiana Taylor there. So he was saying, get her out of here. Like, I don't want her here. And Usher was telling him, it can be fixed. Don't worry about it. Let's talk. Chris Brown left to go to his tour bus. Usher followed him. That's when the melee happened. And hands was put on hands. Usher
so they
left
say.
with a bloody nose. So they say.
And
some people with conspiracy theorists say this is a ploy and a marketing scheme because them two are about to do a versus.
Oh, wow.
So
that would make sense.
It's like everybody gonna tune in for this because we're gonna do a pay-per-view and we just fought, so they're gonna buy it because when we do this versus, it's gonna
they doing a pay-per-view versus?
I'm sure they probably can charge for it.
Yeah, I'll pass. But I like we going to see Usher in Vegas, but I am not. I wouldn't pay for it. But see, it's weird, and I would believe that more than the actual fight, because the clips that they have shown, like there was one clip of Tiana Taylor on the side of the stage like dancing. Then there was another clip of Chris Brown like hollering at some people, but he said some other people were like arguing or something, and he was telling them like, chill out. His kids was there, or one or two, whatever. A child of his was there. So it's like, it almost remind me of R. Kelly when he did like the trapped in the closet things, and you would see it was like pieces of the scenario, but never the full picture coming together. And you would
think if somebody was getting stomped out and it was Chris Brown and Usher, phones are coming out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, even if it was in his trailer, like
phones is
somebody would have seen a picture of Usher with a bloody nose. Usher, or I would think he got a black eye or something. He had to go back on stage in Vegas to do his show. I mean,
he did a video the next day where he was fine. He didn't acknowledge the fight. He just said, "Hey everybody, I'm here to perform today. Everything's good." And they said he left with a bloody nose. A bloody nose clears up in 30 minutes.
You don't have to have a black eye.
Yeah.
I don't believe it, but I do. If I had to pick which story was true, it would be that this is a fabricated scenario to boost, which is crazy because I like Chris Brown. I think he's a good performer. I like some, I'm not like a Chris Brown fan. I've listened to some songs that are great. Love Usher. I'm from the Usher era, but with the fan base that they had, you didn't need this kind of like, love and hip hop type drama to draw fans and attention. This was gonna do well regardless.
Chris Brown can't lay down the Rihanna shit though. No matter, I don't care what kind of shit he still get into. It's been however many years, and people still, and maybe rightfully so, they still call him a woman beater and all that kind of shit. Like,
but do you think that's the people, the fans, or do you think that's the industry? Because I know, like with the winning awards and stuff, that's what I think is more.
But like, I think it's women out there too who have that hard line of, no, like you beat women. Like there's a lot of women out there who feel like that, who feel like there's no second chance with that. Like you won and done. And again, I can't tell you how to feel, rightfully so. Like I have hard lines about certain shit. So some women out there have that line where it's like, nah, like.
Yeah, I don't feel like that. I think it's circumstantial. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think every man who has like a Ray Rice type situation, nah, I can't. No. And I'm not saying Chris Brown. I guess I never gave much thought to it, but
and he got beat up. It's Chris Brown that night. Everybody saw them videos the next day. Like, he was beat up, and he tried to bite her.
But just in general, I'm saying as a general rule, not specific to him or other situations, I think there are some scenarios that may be a one-time thing, and people can change. People can.
Yes.
I'm not a believer of once a cheater, always a cheater. Once a woman beater, always a woman beater. You could have had a lapse of judgment. You could have I'm not going to say made a horrible mistake, made a horrible decision. It doesn't mean that identifies who you are. I don't believe that about every person that has encountered that.
I agree with you, because you're taking a person's worst moment and you're making them that, and I think you should give people some room to grow. I'm just saying that there's women out there
I agree.
with that hard line.
Yeah.
Moving on to something a little bit more serious. I don't want to watch how we talk about this. In our city, Philadelphia, there was a prison break. And a couple of dudes, and this is public, Amin Hurst was wanted for 4 murders, and Nasir Grant was just running for narcotics and gun violations. And broke out of Pitt jail 3 days ago, 72 hours ago. And I didn't hear anything on the news about these people being caught or whatever. But just like dangerous people, like out in the street. And it's like, as a young kid, you would hear something about this and you wouldn't even care. But as an adult, it's like, damn, this can go bad a whole lot of ways. Like, this person can get out, get his hands on a gun, maybe kill some witnesses, maybe shoot it out with the police, maybe kill a cop. You got to think, you're already going to jail for 4 murders. Like, what do you have to lose? The guy who has a gun charge and a narcotics charge, that's different. Like, you may see your life again. But 4 murders is almost like, I don't have anything to lose.
I got my own theory about this, right? So, one, the gentleman who is wanted for the murders, I don't believe that. I believe this may end up in. It's going to end up in a shooting. I don't know if that. Maybe. Yeah, it's going to end up in a shooting. Like, I don't think he's going to. Somebody like that is like saying, I don't want to be in jail and I ain't going back to jail. That's the mentality I think that he has. But you know what? I don't think this was like a planned thing. I think because when they said they had nothing in common except for they were locked up at the same time. They were not friends. Like, they weren't known to hang out together. They aren't known associates. I think that they both seen. Now, it might have been like, you see what I see? Because the story was that whoever was in charge, they left the door open. I don't know if it was intentionally like an inside job, but the people in charge didn't do what they were supposed to do, where they didn't lock a door and then they didn't lock a gate. So it could have been.
Well, they didn't lock a door, and the sensors. It's 4 gates. They got past 2. The last 2 have sensors on them. When you touch them gates, the sensors go off. The sensors was off.
It may have been an inside job, but I'm just saying.
They had tools. Where the fuck if you in Pick, where the fuck you get tools from to cut a fence and bend a bar?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I mean, and again, I was thinking to myself, one could have been leaving and the other one saying like, well, what the hell? Ain't nobody watching him. Like, I'm leaving too. And they may have gone their separate ways. But I will bet money, and I ain't a gambler. I don't gamble more than $5. I bet when they find these people, they gonna probably be within like a 20-mile radius of Philadelphia.
Like Darby?
Yeah, like for whatever reason, and don't get me wrong.
Jersey,
if you supposed to be in jail, I don't even think they're gonna be that far.
No.
If you supposed to be in jail, if you did some heinous stuff, then whatever, let the system play itself out. So I'm not saying I'm an advocate for them to like get away, but every time we hear about, whether we watch it on TV, you hear about people escape. You'll hear about somebody that escaped from jail, escape, or not even escape, because ain't like that many people escape from jail, but somebody's on a run and they went from like Atlanta to South Carolina.
Right.
Or they went from Philadelphia to Darby, or they went from Miami to now they're in New Orleans, which isn't that far. Like, people don't go that far. Like,
no.
Why you ain't in Detroit
and it's
somewhere?
Like, it's like they never saw a movie where it's like they reach out to their family. They want to fuck. They want to fuck their girl. They want to see their kid, and it's like you broke out of prison. The U.S. Marshals have contacted every one of your family members, every one of them, and they're waiting for you to contact them. The phones have been tapped. They're watching the surveillance. Like, it's just like a hard thing. You're on the news every day. It's a hard thing to get away from.
You have to live a life as if you don't know anybody from your past, and you are going to move forward and start, unless you want to get caught. Like, there is no lay low.
No. And I mean, you could be with a Pooh Shiesty mask on walking around in Philadelphia, because that's allowed now. People still wear masks.
But
you could have a Pooh Shiesty on walking around, and people could be like, I'm not telling because that motherfucker's a murderer.
But I think in this climate, the cops are probably stopping people checking.
Possibly. Because
I'm sure there's an
in that area wherever he's from, I'm sure they probably do stop people with masks on or who fit the build, who fit the look. But it's, I don't see how you can move. It's like, he was gone 18 hours before they knew he was missing. So he was gone Sunday. They didn't know till Monday afternoon.
Yeah.
So
that was
last
Sunday
count
dinner.
is 6 o'clock. So you was in bed. They count you when you sleep. So that's probably at midnight. And then you got morning count. So 2 counts he missed. The midnight count, where the guard just come through with the flashlight. So he's probably fired because he didn't check, and he probably wrote in the logbook all inmates are in check, but they probably was gone. And then that's like 18 hours until Monday afternoon when they find out you're not there. If you had plans and this was planned out, you could have gotten to airports, train stations, bus stations, and been in Guatemala by now. But if you're not, then that shit is all hemmed up now. Once they realize you're gone, then U.S. Marshals contact airports, Greyhound, train stations. They send you a picture like your whole thing, so people know if you try to get on a bus, a train, a flight, or something out of here. But in that 18-hour window where they didn't know he was gone, if you're smart, you would be on a plane already.
Well, I don't think they would have been able to get. I don't think they would have got on a plane because that is immediate tracking. They can look to see, okay, this person bought a ticket, or this place. Like, you got to show your ID, so they can automatically say, oh, this person took a flight to Dallas.
Yeah, but you could take a flight somewhere where they can't come get you. You go to Guadalupe or something.
But you got to think, do they have passports? Probably not.
That's why I said if it was planned, if it was set up, I don't know. But if you don't have anything, like you said, where the fuck are you going without involving people? And who the fuck gonna see you calling and they know you on the news, you just broke out of jail? Like, I know I'm not answering the phone. You hot as fish grease.
Yeah.
Anybody that answer or talk to you gonna go to jail. And God forbid, like, this kid gets his hand on a gun. Like, then as a citizen, it's like, damn, I don't even live in Philadelphia, but it's like, I don't want to see somebody, a witness kill a person. Like, my wife drives around in Philadelphia. I don't want to see a person carjacked and shot because you trying to get away or do some dumb shit. Like, that's crazy. That's just crazy.
You know I'm still outside this summer though, right?
I'm outside too, babe. I'm outside too. What was I about to say? Oh, if you in jail and you got 4 murders and triple life and you about to be there the rest of your life and there's an opportunity for you to escape, are you leaving? Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah, every chance I get.
Yeah, I'm fucking
I mean,
out. Because if y'all gonna just bring me back here, then what the fuck do I care? I'm gonna run 10 times in a row.
And maybe think about cool
hand Luke. Yeah, like if y'all just gonna keep bringing me back here.
If you never seen, it's called Cool Hand Luke. Mm-hmm. If you never seen Cool Hand Luke, it's a black and white.
You gotta be over 35 to know what we're talking about.
But it's still a good movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It is a great movie. And that man, he was a handsome white guy. But yeah, I would escape every chance I get if I know they ain't go. Now don't get me wrong though. You gotta be careful with these Philadelphia cops though. You gotta make sure if they do catch you that it's clear. Like, all right, y'all got me, because you will end up dead. Like, you gotta let them catch you in the middle of Broad Street where it's cameras and proof and they can't say you did nothing.
Like, I'm giving up at the clothespin.
Yeah.
That's when I'm turning myself in at the clothespin.
So, everybody got a camera. It's street cameras everywhere. But yeah, I would definitely try to escape if I knew that, I wasn't going to be killed.
I would go every single time. Like, if I wouldn't just be like, nah, man, y'all go. Let me just do my life. Like, nah, y'all got a little hole. I'm getting them in the pipe too.
Yeah.
I go through the storm drain. Like, I'm getting out of here.
Well, I wouldn't go through the storm drain if it was rats down there.
So you would just say, let me just chill here?
That would keep me in jail, yes.
Wow.
That would keep me in jail. Oh, my God.
What if you knew on the other side you knew you was going to get out? Like, plane ticket to Nova Scotia.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't even think about it. A bunch of rats, like, oh, my God. I couldn't even do it.
Daniel Penny killed Jordan Neely last week on the subway. Marine who was locked up, questioned, and released. Then he gave a statement to some bullshit effect of just because Jordan Neely was hollering that he was kind of justified in taking his life.
So let me give you some backstory, right? Jordan Neely was a young man. When he was 14 years old, his mom went missing. His family was looking for her. They didn't know where it was. And he was left in a house by himself for a couple days. Didn't know where his mom was. He was from New York. Well, of course, he got killed in New York. Well, a couple days later, they found a suitcase on the West Side Highway in the Bronx. His mom was in the suitcase. She had been killed by her boyfriend. So this happened to him at 14. Then at 18, I guess they had to find a boyfriend, go through trial, whatever. At 18, he had to testify in court, about what he had witnessed in this volatile relationship between his mom and her boyfriend, who killed her, who put her in a suitcase
and left her
on the side of the highway that people, are driving up and down every day, like his mom in a house by herself at 14, not knowing where his mom was, all alone. She's in a suitcase. So you think about the mental trauma that this young man has, and now he's homeless, living in the street. And I seen somebody say like, oh, well, if he had family to because I guess his family is speaking out about this. If he had family to come for, blah, 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 where were they? That's so insensitive. You know how many people have loved ones who are on the street and homeless because of mental health issues? Mm-hmm. Not everybody is in a position to help their family members, regardless of how much they love them, they care for them, they want them to be okay. Sometimes that person, their unhealthy mental state prevents anybody from helping them.
They have a behavior that you can't, it's not livable.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, that doesn't mean they don't love him. Hell, I've seen people, the guy you were showing me, this wasn't even his family, but who living down Kensington on drugs. People, his friends that know him and love him, go there to take him food and stuff. So we don't know that his family wasn't still part of his life in whatever way that he could. But what we do know is that he wasn't posing a danger to anyone. He ain't the first damn homeless person to be making a ruckus on the subway or in downtown anywhere.
It's naked people in New York subway. Like, you listen to people from New York, and I watch a lot of podcasts. People from New York talk about this story, and this is shit you see every 5 minutes. Somebody screaming, hollering, taking a shit in the corner, taking a piss, got a weird pet with him.
I just seen a video of a white man sitting on a bench jerking off.
Yeah, the boys who get on there and dance, the people who panhandle, who sell shit. There's something going on the New York subway all the time. People who get on there as Batman, fucking Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, all kinds of shit are going on where you don't know who's doing something because they got mental issues, just because they want to, because they're working, and you just don't have the right to choke people. I swear to God, years ago, this shit wouldn't bother me, but it just does now. It just does now. I can't imagine being on that train and seeing people with that pack mentality of oh yeah, go ahead, choke him out because he was hollering.
Yeah.
At what point, okay, he passed out. Get the fuck off of him. You're going to kill him. Why are you choking him for 15 minutes? And people are holding his hands. I don't understand what clicks in your brain where you think, oh, I have to assist in this murder. But you don't look at it as he's murdering him. You look at it as he's subduing him or he's holding him down. From what? He didn't hit nobody. From hollering? From saying I'm sick of this shit? That's enough to be choked out and killed nowadays if you just holler out, I'm sick of this shit. That's crazy, man. That's
people
crazy.
said that he was just hollering, saying he was tired of life being hard. He was tired. He needed
his
clothes,
fucking mother was found in a suitcase in an underpass.
Yeah.
Drove up in a car, put a suitcase out under underpass and drove off, and his mom was in it. And again, his mom might have been his best fucking friend. It might have been everything in his life.
He
and
was
now,
14
yeah,
years
it's
old.
all torn apart. Like, you would think he has some mental issues. But no, if it ain't a cop that's coming and shooting you, it's some weird dude on the train who think I'm a vigilante and I can choke you out.
But now, you know what? I feel like this is now in the hands of New York City, the DA, whoever is the people that need to get involved. And this is one of those situations that I feel like I did see there was like some small protest at the Barclays Center about this. I don't know why they were at the Barclays Center and not at like City Hall or something. I don't know. But I feel like people need to show up and show out for this and demand justice for this man. Like this, I don't understand how somebody could do this and just feel that they were justified in killing a person. Like, you could have ignored him.
Those are the type of people that shouldn't be on the street. The quiet people. Fucking Marine come home. You don't know what type of PTSD he got. But he's sitting on a train with thousands of people. And his mindset is, I can kill anybody if I want to. And I'm justified in it. Like any one of y'all. If it was a woman walking up and down the train hollering and taking her clothes off, would have choked her? Because he would have been justified because she's acting crazy amongst people? Like, that's some bullshit, man. That's some bullshit.
Yeah. You know what I'm curious to see though, and I haven't, like, I seen the one video that I think a person recorded, but it was just a part of him being choked. I'm sure there's cameras on this stuff. I want to see the whole situation. Mm-hmm. What was he doing that you felt that you were in danger and you had to physically intervene?
And obviously you're a Marine. You're trained more than anybody on the subway that's not in the service. You're trained differently. You should have patience in knowing that I can handle this situation if I need to take control of this situation. If he hits somebody, if he pulls out a knife, like, I'm trained that way. But just to jump on him for hollering is fucking ridiculous. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like, that says you got some type of mental issue. You woke up this morning and walked out the house and think that all the people I'm walking amongst, I can kill anybody if I want to. That's crazy.
That's pretty scary.
That's crazy. He's not the one that should be off the street. You are.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
You learn anything?
I didn't, but I wanted to. Can I have permission to change up this segment just a little bit for this show?
For what?
I gotta ask you some questions.
All right.
What is your happy?
That's a vague question.
What is your happy? What's your happy? Because oftentimes people are asked like, what's your happy place? But your happy place and your happy can be two different things. So I want to know what is it that is like creates your happiness, and it could be different things, but like, just give me a thing.
Two things is me just waking up. I'm so grateful every day to be blessed just to be in life, and two is my every chance I think about talking to God. Every chance that I'm alone and I think about talking to God, and I do so after I'm done, I'm happy that I thought of it and did.
Wow, that's deep. I appreciate that. I didn't know what you would say, but I didn't think it was that. So
yeah, and now that I'm just generally happy about just waking up, like, I'm a firm believer, and I know you don't always believe this, but happiness arrives on your doorstep every day as a choice. And whatever I might be feeling or tired or stressed or me and you beefing or whatever is happening in my life, I'm going to try to walk out the door with some type of chest up, chin up. I'm happy that I'm alive. It's not that bad. It could be worse. And let me try to go have a good day.
That's really dope. Couple more questions. What do you love most about me?
What do I love most about you? How deep you love. How deep you love. And also how naive you are to, well, not naive, but I'm just to a specific thing, how naive you are to how great you are. Like, you don't take compliments about yourself well. Like, when I big you up, you just like not really take it in. But you're dope as shit, and you're great, and you're awesome, and I don't think you really know that.
I appreciate that. What's your biggest pet peeve about me? And if I don't like your answer, then I'm going to cut it out.
You are sporadic.
Oh.
Like, sometimes I don't like when... I like when you... It's like sometimes you show me a part of you where you can have original thought. And then sometimes, more often, you show me a side of you where it's like you see something and you want to do that. Or you see something, now you're interested in that. And I don't like that about you.
Okay. I gotta think more about that because I don't know what the hell you're talking about. 22 and a half years together. What's the secret?
Growth. Can't stay the same. We had to grow individually in order for us to be together now. So growth is key. And being kind to each other, being nice. Like, our relationship is built on our friendship. And I always want you to be okay, no matter what we're going through. Like, you're my friend. You're the first person I think of when something happens to me, good, bad, or indifferent. I want to tell you about it. I want to hear, like, what you got to say about it, your perspective. So, yeah, that's it.
Pretty cool. Thanks for letting me take over a little bit.
3 grams. Jonathan Majors. It's not looking too good.
Oh my God, I haven't heard any updates.
It's not looking too good, Johnny. This dude was up on the rise and he'd been knocked off the totem pole, and he got like 5 women coming out now cooperating with the DA saying he beat us and he was rough with us. And yeah, like, it's not just the lady he was with that night in the car, but like 5 other women that was cooperating with the DA saying he's a beater.
Do you think it's
supposedly that lady that night he pulled her middle finger, twisted her arm, and shoved her in the car?
Do you think and this is not, I don't want any attacks on us. I'm just, and you may not have the answer. We may not have the answer. I wonder if it's a cultural thing, and I think we kind of talked about this, where people from, I know he's Nigerian, people from African men. Even women, though, typically are a little more aggressive.
Like a dominant type of trait with them where it's almost like the 50s with them. Like, I'm the man, you my woman, you stand behind me. And it's like, that may work in Nigeria, but over here, it definitely is not going to work with American women, and definitely not American white women.
I was about to say, were all 5 of them white women?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Wow.
But
Dr. Umar would have something to say about that.
You would have 50,000 lashes. You would have 50,000 lashes, 10,000 for each white woman, for each snow bunny, as he would say. But yeah, it's just fucked up. And it's different, and it's weird in our culture, right? Because white dude get locked up for slapping a girl or beating up his girl, and they throw him to the fire fast. Everybody be like, oh, there's no just due, no due process. They just threw him to the wolves. Then it happens to a black dude, and it's like, well, I thought you was innocent till proven guilty. But when it happens to the white guy, you want that to be a blanket, like that same energy across the board. But when it happens to our people, it's almost like now everybody wants to be like, well, let him still do his movies. He's innocent.
I don't think it's like even nothing, our people. Nothing. I don't think it's our people. I think it's the fact that he's a celebrity and people are so. But I think that should be applied to anybody. I mean, it's like it's a fine line, because do you want to allow a person to continue to make movies and be on the big screen if these allegations are true? As a brand, as a business, of course, Paramount or Fox or whoever's making the movies, Marvel, no, they're not going to want that, because then later down the line, if it does come out to be true, now you got these products. We know they make a movie today, it don't come out to 2 years from now.
Yeah.
So if in 2 years from now, when this resolves itself, they're going to feel like they've wasted money. But from a human perspective, we do have to think about, it's a shame, because you get a mugshot and these stories are out there, and even if you're found not guilty, it's going to stick with you. Like, that stigma is still going to be there.
But as a human, but as a woman, like with the whole, you don't want a woman to be abused, and you want to believe women. I'm not saying you're an advocate for believe all women, because I know you're not, but you want to believe women. But what are you saying, like, just let it play out, like let him still do his movies, like it's not.
No, I'm saying I understand him not being able to do his movies.
And it also says something if Marvel says we're dropping you, that's cool. If another studio says that's cool, because they're major corporations that probably have to get away from that stink. But I think the key thing is when they said his long-term agency dropped him, that's when it seems like, okay, y'all must know something that the public don't know. Because if we're the people who fuck with you and got you to this point, now we're dropping you. Like, we're really your people.
But to your point, so you just found out, or you're just talking about the 5 women. Maybe that story already came out and then he was doing some investigation and now they're just letting the public know. So his agency may have already been aware of that information. And also, like we talked about, if you're not getting any work, then you can't pay the agency their commission. So what do we still have you as a client for?
But it's like, you're my management team and you have been for 10 years. You seen me come up on the rise. So y'all about to be a part of this whole Marvel thing I'm about to do. So if Marvel says, oh, we're going to get somebody else to do these 5 movies we offered you, you understand that because you're Marvel. But y'all are the people who fuck with me. Y'all are the people who was getting me commercials. Like, y'all know who I am and know my character. But if you know something that the public don't know, then I could see y'all saying, look, bro, like, yeah, we've been together a dozen years, but we can't fuck with you because we know this shit's going to come out.
But not only that, even if we think you're innocent, the story is what it is. So just like Marvel's dropping you, Oreos ain't gonna want you to do a commercial either. You know, Gatorade ain't gonna want you to do a commercial either. So as your management company, we are a business as well, and this is no longer financially prudent for us to keep you as our client. It's a shame because, again, we're talking about lives, but they're also looking at it from what's a bit. I asked you this before. What is a business main goal?
What's a business main
goal?
To make money.
To stay in business.
Yeah.
So if we're like having a client that ain't making no money ain't helping us stay in business. No. So, you know, that's it. It's one.
But you would think if you had a management team since you was, let's just say a number, 18 years old, and you got into some shit when you was 30, and the first people to drop you was your management team, not the people you got deals with. Not none of them people, not the big corporations. They still fucking with you. It's your management team that say, look, and we don't even know who the management team is. It's not like one of the big CIAs or one of the big corporations. It's like just the people who got you there.
Yeah.
Second gram, Robert De Niro, 79 years old, just birthed his seventh child.
How old is his wife?
I don't know.
Or baby mom?
Don't know. But I didn't even look into that. But just think 79.
I think that's so selfish. When your kid is
10, you're 8. Like, what's it? I don't want to know, but I just want to know if he thinks about, I just fathered a kid that I might not see grow up.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's selfish to the
kid. I might not even
see
see him to be 5.
That's what I'm saying when I say it's so selfish to the kid. Because let's say let's say you live to be 99, your kid lives to be 20. I mean, your kid is 20 years old, but then you cheat. But I mean, how many people? I know there are some people that live to be 99, thank God. But it's like you cheat your kid out of having a father. I just think that's a little selfish.
And it doesn't matter if he's set up for life with finances and a good mother.
And the mom is going to find a stepdaddy anyway.
It doesn't matter. It's like he's your kid, your 7th kid, and you're 79. Like, you should have been had a vasectomy and not be like popping babies out. Like,
this is why they need birth control for men.
And you don't want to see that. But it's a chance, like, you might not see tomorrow. You might not see next week. You might not see, he's 79. You might not see 80. Like, none of us might not see the next year. But I'm just saying, to be doing that at 79.
Yeah, I think it's a little selfish to the kid.
It's crazy.
And to the mom, too. Like, you're going to leave this mother, at some point, because I'm sure she ain't 79. Like, you're going to...
It's crazy because old dudes don't want old girls. Not unless, y'all been together for a while. I saw a couple the other day who was 96 years old and they known each other. They've been married for 76 years.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Like 76 years. Like, what's going to happen when one of them pass? The other one going to be like 5-6 hours behind
Your
them.
souls are attached at that point. Your hearts beat in sync.
That's like the longest I ever heard somebody was married. 76 years.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Last gram, Jay-Z got a son.
Stop putting that on his jacket.
I ain't putting it on his jacket.
Did he take the test?
No, but that's the thing. Why wouldn't you just take the test to quell all the fucking rumors and talk? Why have your lawyers say this some bullshit, like he did some fraud shit? Like, why not just say, you know what, take the test, I don't know. I think there's doubt in your mind because you probably think, damn, I know who Wanda is. I remember 92. Yeah, it could be, but I ain't saying nothing because B told me one more time.
But but she should. I mean, if that she shouldn't hold that over his head. If that
she told me if I put her name out there one more time with some smut on her jacket, it's a wrap.
As a woman, you shouldn't want a man that's not accepting the responsibility for children that they had. And now this man is a grown up, but I mean, you should just acknowledge yes or no whether or not you're the dad. Now, what relationship you develop with a grown up, remains to be seen. But as a woman, I wouldn't want you to just like go about life not knowing.
I know you wouldn't. No, I don't think she would either. But I was just joking. Like,
no, I know, but yeah,
but you would just think this has been going on for 15 years. Like, take the test already, bro, and just prove
and
is or not
because
your
this
son.
is an adult, it's not like you can be financially obligated to do. Now, the only thing I'm thinking, like, this is just my thought. Did like she filed for child support years ago? Like, cause what exactly was the fraud that he said that the woman did?
I don't know. Gotta look more.
That's the only thing I'm thinking that.
And I think this has been all the boy. I don't think the woman Wanda has said shit.
No, I know that, but I'm saying I'm just thinking in my mind, which I'm sure no matter how much child support it is, it ain't hurting Jay's pockets. But let's just say if she had filed for child support at however old, and because paternity wasn't established, maybe they could not validate her request for child support. So then you think about it. Let's say he's 21. Or you don't pay child support after 18.
Not unless you go to school.
Right, but let's say he's not in school. So now, if once paternity is verified, are they going to go back and say, oh, she filed for child support when he was 6. So now you owe this back money from 6 to 18. And again, not that it's going to hurt his pockets, but it may be an ego thing where like I ain't trying to give her nothing.
I think it would be less about the money. I think if he can quell this with money behind closed doors, he probably would. I think it's just about the shame.
But what shame? Like
this been going on for 15 years. I could have been took this test and he is my kid. That would be shameful to be like, because people would be like, damn, Jay knew that was his kid years ago. He knew he fucked that girl. He knew it could have been, and he waited 15 years to take the test.
But this society ain't gonna care. These people in this society,
I think they would hold him to a different standard because of who he is. If it was fucking Tank, they would give a fuck. But because it's Jay, they probably would come after him. B would have to get the beehive on it. That's a wrap. Do a wrap. Act 2 the podcast, episode 122. Coming to a wrap. It's your boy, International Walk.
It's your girl, Tosh, the co-hostess with the mostest.
Act2thepodcast.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Anchor, YouTube, and Spotify. If y'all fuck with us, you fuck with us. If you don't, goddamn it, you should by now. Peace.